Internal chatter has kicked up about a home run swing that could flip Chicago's season arc in a single move Devon Kane in navy and orange. The purest burst in the league dropped straight into a backfield that's been grinding for inches, when it should be stealing yards in chunks. And if you think that wouldn't change the math for Caleb Williams, DJ Moore, and a young receiver room that wants to live in 2nd and 5 instead of 3rd and long, you're not watching how this offense is begging for a gear no defensive coordinator can match at the edge. This is the kind of move that turns a scouting note into a weekly headache for opponents, forces safeties to widen 2 extra steps, and opens the middle for crossers, glance routes, and RPOs that let Caleb play fast and punish leverage. And yes, it sounds audacious. It sounds expensive. It sounds like something Chicago usually blinks on until it doesn't. This is the window where you find out if the front office truly believes in the timeline or is just flirting with it, because the difference between a fun season and a January team is often one decision, one trait, one player who makes your mediocre plays look elite because he stresses pursuit, angles on snaps that used to be routine. Welcome back to Bears News Fan Report, the only place where we don't just ask for splash, we map how splash wins you field position, momentum, and Sundays. So do the smart thing right now. Hit subscribe, drop a like, and ride with the C, because I'm taking you through the fit, the cost, the risk, the locker room ripple, and the timeline that makes this more than a fantasy trade machine idea. Start with the truth nobody wants to say out loud. Our run game has flashes, but not fear, and fear is the point. You don't fix that with more carries. You fix it with a trait that makes linebackers hesitate. A Kane's trait is hesitation tax. Every toss crack, every pin pull, every split zone with orbit motion becomes a geometry test for the second level. And that half step of doubt is where this staff wants to live. Pair it with jet motion from Romo Duns or short motion from DJ Moore, and suddenly the backside end can't crash. The apex defender has to declare early, and Caleb gets the clean pitchers that turn RPOs into layups. You want 2nd and 4? You want play action that actually buys time, not hope. You add a back who punishes pursuit and forces light boxes even against heavy personnel. Scheme-wise, the menu expands overnight. Toss to the field with a built-in reversal threat, gun outside zone with a Tay-Sif cut in the backside, pistol counter read where Caleb carries the mesh an extra beat to freeze the alley defender. Fast forward to the flat to get a Kane isolated on a Sam who doesn't want that. Smoke in space. In red zone, you don't have to win on brute force every time. You win on sequencing speed to the perimeter twice, then leak the Tay or pin pull into a cutback lane a safety abandoned 3 steps ago. And for the pass pro crowd, fair. That's the teach. That's what you insulate with personnel and tells. 3rd and obvious becomes pony with a Kane as the motion threat and your bigger back handling the scan. Or straight empty with the ball out under 2 seconds while the motion forces the nickel to bump out of pressure. This isn't about fantasy football touches. It's about control. Now, let's talk cost, because everything is a budget conversation. A Kane is on a rookie deal cap friendly, in a way that fits the Bears' 2-year runway with a cheap franchise QB contract. That matters when you're planning extensions and deciding where to park premium dollars, edge, corner, tackle. The likely ask starts at a day 2 pick plus a conditional sweetener. If the selling team wants a player back, Chicago can ship a rotational piece and protect the core. The line between aggressive and reckless is real. A 2026 second and a 2027. 4th that escalates to a 3rd with yardage incentives. That's aggressive. 2 seconds plus a starter. That's reckless. The front office has to hold the line. But if you land him under sane terms, the multiplier effect is immediate. Look at the calendar. The league doesn't wait for your identity to settle by the time Thanksgiving hits. You are what your tape says you are. With a Kane, the tape starts lying in your favor. Corners play a yard softer. Safeties cheat a step wider. Boxes lighten. And your bread and butter duo and inside zone suddenly hit cleaner because linebackers are peeking outside first. And the locker room? Don't underestimate that ripple. Bringing in a weapon tells everyone from veterans in the trenches to rookies in the depth chart that the building is serious about today, not just the plan. That raises the Tuesday standard and the Saturday night belief, and belief travels to road games. There are risks. We say them out loud. Explosive backs with world-class speed demand even better load management. You can't pretend it's 25 touches a game. You design for 12 to 16 high-leverage touches, plus 3 decoy motions that pull gravity without hits. You make the minutes matter. You lean on a committee for the dirty work, and you script the first 15 with intent. A perimeter threat early, a mid-zone slice to punish overreactions, a shot-off play action, and then a check to remind the defense you'll take 5 yards when they give it. You also build a protection plan. If a defense shows mugged gaps in smoke, check out the quick game or slide the pocket. Don't ask him to stonewall a blitzing Mike with bad leverage. That's coaching. Where does this leave the current backs? In a better place if the staff is honest. Roles win seasons. If you're a hammer on inside concepts, be a hammer. If you're the clock bleeder for 4-minute offense, own it. A speed back does not erase you. He unlocks you. Suddenly the boring 4-yard run matters more because coordinators are living in fear of the 8-yard perimeter hit that becomes 40. And for Caleb, this is about clarity. Every great young QB gets help that clarifies pictures. Defenses can't show everything when they're terrified of anything. You want Caleb playing on time and on schedule? Give him a constraint that makes the defense honest. Then watch his anticipation throws to a duns and more pop because corners are a half tick late out of their pedal. Mid-season is also when little things become big things. Special teams flips fields, defense gets 1 extra breather per half, and the offense steals a possession with tempo. A Cane's presence stresses special teams matchups and forces a different kickoff depth chart. It's all connected. Let's also be straight about the other side of the ball. The secondary has been dealing with its own attrition and growing pains. The surest medicine for a defense finding its legs is an offense that changes the stress geometry. Fewer 3-and-outs, better field position, cleaner pass rush scripts because the scoreboard is your friend. Complementary football is not a cliche, it's the blueprint in weeks where you're not at full strength. So, timeline. If you move before the market hardens and prices spike. You don't wait for desperation. You buy at conviction. Practices tighten when a new toy shows up. The install grows 1-page sticker pony looks, motion families, a small constraint package, and you unleash just enough in the first 2 games to put fresh tape out there. Force the next 2 opponents to prepare for ghosts. That is how you compound value. Now, the reality check because I respect you. Nothing here is done. This is a league of phone calls, leverage, and timing. But dots are connectable. Our need profile is obvious. A Cane's trait profile is surgical for that need, and the cap arc fits. It's the kind of move that says, we're not waiting to be ready, we're getting ready by acting. If you're still here, you're part of the community that wants Chicago to choose bold and smart at the same time. So here's the ask. If you want daily, no-nonsense breakdowns like this, smash that subscribe, drop your like so the algorithm stops hiding us from Bears Nation. And share this with the friend who says, same old Bears, every Monday. My opinion? I do it at the right price and with a usage plan that respects the body and maximizes the terror. I'm in at a 2026 second plus a 2027 conditional fourth that rises to a third with production. I'm out if the ask is 2 premium picks or a core starter. I want 12 to 16 touches, scripted motion stress every quarter, and a red zone package that steals 7 without asking Caleb to be a superhero on every snap. You give this staff a downhill hammer, a speed blade, and a quarterback who learns faster every week, and you are not just fun, you are a problem. But that's me. What about you? Do you pay the speed tax now and bet on compounding wins? Or do you hold the picks and hope the current room finds that extra gear on its own? Tell me your package, your snap count, and your first 3 play calls with Kine in the lineup. Welcome to the argument that decides how serious Chicago wants to be right now.